Welcome, everybody. Episode 82 of the
Yeah.
Illiana Stock Car Radio
Hey,
Podcast.
check out the new digs. You can't see it, but Illiana is behind us.
It
You know,
is
the
behind us
the
right there.
old which tree did you live in picture.
Yeah. Scoured the internet, and although we didn't really scour too far. If you've seen
Yeah.
any of our video thumbnails, you've seen half of this picture in it. So,
Scoured Jeremy's file of pictures.
yeah. Yeah, scoured my
Well,
scoured
your
my
folder doesn't have anywhere near as many pictures as mine does.
not even close. I get confused too easily. So but yeah, episode 82 on tap for you guys this week at
Yeah,
Illiana.
God, we're getting old.
One of these days this is going to be a triple digits here, and it may even be before the end of the year. We'll see. You got that schedule planned out.
Well, I heard when everybody said, "Hey, when's the next episode?" Well, so we're trying to do that this year.
Yeah, we're trying to give you guys some extra episodes, and if you guys aren't familiar with us by now, Jeremy Banning here with you, jack of all trades, master of none for the S4 Motorsports crew of Grady County Speedway, number 30 Super Late Model, number 30 Super Cup.
Yeah,
Number
there you go.
33 Super Late Model.
Look at you getting lofty ambitions already.
I know. That was part of the discussion with our guest coming up here in a little bit, Cameron Preisler, that you guys will want to stick around for. And then obviously owner operator, Goodacre Photography, Mr. Chris Goodacre.
Oh, hey, that's me. Yeah.
That is you. And
Conspicuous by his absence.
Yeah,
the other half.
We'll let him off this week.
It's Kelsey's birthday, so happy birthday, Kelsey. See, we said that on the air. We
covered our bases.
Oh, yeah, he's doing his husbandly duties.
Yeah, so we will give him the free pass on this caution flag. So he does get the week off, but he will be back hopefully for the next episode.
Well, you better be. If the plan goes to how we planned it, it's going to be his baby next time.
Yeah, exactly. And if he's not, it's going to be demerits.
Yeah.
So we will deal with that later. But yeah, as Chris mentioned, man, got our schedule planned out. Heard everybody asking when the next episodes are going to be, so we're keeping them coming here early in 2024, man. So gearing up for race season. I know NASCAR's starting, got all the stuff going down.
Oh yeah, that right there is its own hot button topic.
It is, and we will keep it local here tonight. But regardless, there are race cars on track, so it's got us all geared up to get going for the season. But this episode, Chris, you lined up a great guest for us. First time guest on the show, Cameron Preisler. And the interview with him was great, and we'll kind of get into it after some of our thoughts and reactions to it. But a lot of good info. He was a good guest, man, and I'm really eager for everybody to hear it.
Yeah.
So I think without further ado, let's welcome on to Illiana Stock Car Radio. First time for Cameron Preisler. All right, Cameron Preisler, welcome onto the Illiana Stock Car Radio podcast. First time guest. So welcome in tonight.
How's it going? I appreciate you guys having me.
Well, I see Chris twisted your arm to get you on the show. So
oh yeah,
you figured out how to get in and get with us virtually here.
Oh yeah.
So let's kind of start from the top here. For those watching that may not be too familiar with you or your history, your story. How did you get involved in racing?
So it kind of all first started off with, once I was born. My whole family did it, my uncle and my cousins. So I kind of went to the track every weekend and spent a lot of time there and helping them in the garage and their shop and whatnot. And it kind of all went from there. I hung out with them a lot, and then I started working at 13 and saving up money to buy a car off of my uncle. So it went from there, and at about 14, I started racing for my first time. And yeah, it's been going smooth so far, so we're going to keep on going.
Better knock on some wood there.
Yeah, right.
So if my research, Chris did his research here, putting the script together. So if mine's right,
guidelines.
Guidelines. Yeah, you're part of the Sontag clan, right?
Yes. Yep, that is correct.
I didn't want to out him if he didn't want.
Yeah, sometimes
Well,
it's good, sometimes it's bad.
well, our buddy Dimmitt over there, he did his
Yeah,
pit stop with Cameron
yeah,
not too long ago. So I did my research and watched the video. So
there you go.
so good on him there. So he
Yeah,
kind of already outed himself. So I figured we just just kick the can down the road a little bit. So
right.
so you got started in the pure stock division. Is that
Yep,
right?
yep, that is correct. I started when I was 14, I think. 14 or 15. I have a bad uh remembering, but no, I'm pretty sure it's 14 is when I first started, and it was the day I turned 14. So I ran. My birthday's in August, so I was able to run like 3 races, and then the season was over by then.
Still had to be a good little teaser, right? Get your feet wet
Oh
and,
yeah,
and
for
everything.
sure.
I'm sure you probably didn't want the season to end there, right?
No, it kept me on my toes all season to get back out there. I had a lot of fun in those 3 races.
Yeah. So what year would that have been?
I want to say that would have been 2019, I think. Yeah, 2019 would have been my first season.
My pictures or anything to go by. Yeah, 2019.
Yeah.
But so obviously you started there, have to start somewhere, and worked
Yeah.
your way into being the champion of the class just a
Yeah.
couple seasons ago, man. Talk about that and all the work and everything that went into that championship season.
Yeah, so, we ran my first full season in 2020, and we had a decent run. I think I ended up 6th in points, so that was pretty fun, but we kind of wanted to go for a championship in next year, so kind of went on from there and just kept digging and doing our homework, trying to learn more stuff about these cars. So we ended up blowing 6 motors that season. So we definitely had to work for it, that's for sure. And my dad, even when I was in school, my dad was he was off for the day or whatever, and he was putting in a motor before opening night and whatnot. So I can't thank him enough for that. But all the people that helped me go win that championship with all the motors and whatnot, I really appreciate them. But yeah, we kind of just kept digging after you change so many. It's like, all right, well, let's do it again. We're kind of used to it by now. But yeah, no, we I kind of just tried to keep some consistent and keep the car clean and be there at the end during that season. Try and soak up as many wins as I could. We didn't have a lot of feature wins, but we were consistent and didn't break out in that division. So it kind of all came together at the end, and we came out on top.
Yeah, especially that division. It's hard to
Hmm.
keep your car clean all year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you did that. You were quick right out of the gate, man. Fast times and winning in heats and everything. I'm sure kind of the family history. I'm sure you kind of had them to lean on a little bit how to
Yeah.
make the
Yeah.
car go fast, right?
Right, yeah, they helped me a lot throughout the beginning, and then kind of once they seen I was getting the hang of it, they kind of just let me fly away and go do my own thing.
Kind of cut the cord a little bit and
Yeah,
say, there you go,
exactly.
three in the deep end, and there
Hmm.
it is.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the best way to learn, especially when you're coming in and young and everything. You
Oh yeah,
gotta kind of got figured out. So,
for sure.
and figured out you did kind of worked up a little bit. Got here 2022, kind of snuck into Matt Chester's street stock a little bit.
Yeah,
What was that transition like going from the front wheel drives to the big street stock?
it was definitely a big transition, that's for sure. At the end of the year, I was like, why? Tommy Gilmore was always good buddies with my family, so I figured, well, why not? Let me get him up. I know he's got that street stock just sitting there, and maybe I can get my feet wet a little bit. And I think we ran 3 events with that car with me driving it. He brought it out, and yeah, it turned out pretty good. For sure. The first race we had with it, my heat race, we I was scheduled to start on the pole, so I was a little nervous about that, and I kept going back and forth. I'm like, I don't know if I want to start on the pole in this, and you know, I kind of looked at the lineups and who was behind me. I said, all right, we'll go for it and go from there, and hopefully it works out good. And yeah, we ended up winning the heat race in the first race, so that was pretty awesome. It definitely made me pretty happy, and want to keep giving that shot a class, or that class a shot. But at the end of the year, we didn't have any plans on running street stock coming into this next year. So, that was pretty cool. It definitely helped me learn some things in the rear wheel drives and whatnot.
What'd you find the biggest difference to be, or the biggest or the hardest thing you had to kind of adjust to?
Usually, like in a four-cylinder, you got to kind of wind it up coming out of the corners or on restarts and whatnot. And in a rear-wheel drive, it's like right there. Like you don't even have to worry about it. And also another thing is, the hard racing. In street stocks, they'll you'll get some hard racing in here and there, and the competitions is very hard. So it was pretty crazy, having the difference between those two. But no, once I kind of got the hang of it, it wasn't too bad. And also, like in a rear wheel drive, the car is usually pretty loose most of the time. In a front wheel drive, you rarely get a car loose. It's usually tight through the center. So that was a pretty big difference right there.
Yeah, if you get one of them
Yeah.
cylinders loose, you got a bigger problem.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
So Chris, you're gonna have to translate for me a little bit. You just put wrecked cars on here,
Oh,
and,
so,
and I
yeah.
don't want to incriminate him too
Well,
much
I
here.
don't I don't remember the exact timelines, but I know Cameron was it was either end of the season at the Goblin at Rockford or early in the season, because you were all set to run a pure stock, and I remember, so I found a picture of the wrecked car at Grundy, and I
Yep.
remember seeing there was a picture of a wrecked car from Rockford, and then all of a sudden you're in a street stock.
So yeah, a lot goes into this. So at the end of the year in 22, I got in a wreck at the Benhausen, and the car was pretty bad. I ended up with concussion. So we still plan on running the short track nationals at Rockford the 2 weeks after the Benhausen. So we kind of gathered back up in the garage. I went to the doctor, figure out, obviously she wouldn't let me race, the doctor. So I waited on that, and she said in about 2 weeks you should be able to. So we were getting the car ready, fixing all the damage from the Benhausen. And so we went up to the nationals after that. And we were running the nationals. I finished second, and then after tech, I ended up being the winner. So that made me feel pretty good after coming out, fixing the car, made it all worth it pretty much. So then in the I built I scrapped that four-cylinder, built a new build over the off season of the 23 off season or 22 off season, and going into 2023 this year, we ran the Spring Classic at Rockford. First time with the car. We battled problems with the brakes all practice day on Friday. And then Saturday, it actually ended up snowing. So they moved the show to Sunday. And then I qualified, finally got the brakes working somewhat. And we ended up breaking out and qualifying, so I had to start in the back. We had a really fast car, by the way. It was the first time in this car, so I was happy with it. But we ended up starting in the back of the feature and started making my way up. We were about 3 laps into the feature, and we got in a wreck with 3 other cars. So that car was pretty tore up pretty good. So we went back. We were supposed to race at Grundy the next week, and after some discussion in the family, Christy Odom had the street stocks in there, and she's like, "Why don't you run?" I'm like, "I don't know. Maybe I should just wait a little while, not race full time this year, and look at this thing, figure out what it needs." And then, yeah, I ended up in her street stock, and I can't thank her enough for that. So that was a pretty awesome opportunity that she gave me. And yeah, we started doing pretty good in that thing. And I figured, this is what I want to do from now on. So we fixed up the four-cylinder and sold it. And yeah, it all worked out pretty good.
Yeah, I'd say
Yeah.
so.
One thing I've learned is you never tell Christy, no, I don't know if I want to
Yep.
do that.
Exactly, because she'll always talk you into it. And my dad, he wasn't any better. He was not any better.
It's like peer pressure. It's what they
Yeah.
have always warned you about, but it's coming
Yep.
from your parents too.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Ironic. So you run enduros, you run the brackets, kind of run a little bit of everything. Kind of talk about your experience running some of the enduro stuff.
Yeah, so the Enduros are probably the most fun I've ever had. We need to get Chris in a car one of these times. But no, they're
Yeah, I know.
really
I've told
fun.
Christy no, and
Yeah, you're coming soon.
All right. Well, now that we've incriminated it, we
well,
got to
okay.
make that happen.
After what Brian said about Jake Straka's car, we'll see.
We'll get you in a car here soon.
All
But
right.
no, we've been traveling around. My first Enduro was in 22. I rented an Enduro car in M40, and that was the most fun I've probably ever had in racing. So then Grundy started up their Enduros, and we kind of just been running those here and there. And it was like 4 days before the Enduro. My dad's like, we should build a car. I'm like, Dad, I don't think we got enough time and whatnot. Well, we made it happen. And this rusty four-door Cavalier that we bought off the neighbor down the street, and it was like $300. So we cleaned it up, threw a little cage in there, and we ended up finishing third with that. Or no, it was fourth with that car. And then I ran that thing one more time, and I was running up front, and then it broke on me, so I sold it. And then this season, or no, last season, Trevor Stark offered me a car. He said, "Hey, man, you could run this thing if you build it and whatnot." So I built that thing, and we ended up finishing second with it at Grundy. It was that last Enduro to Ryan Legacy. So I'm not too sad about getting second to him.
Yeah,
He's really good
second
in
to
those
him's kind of
Enduros.
like a win.
Yeah,
Yep, exactly.
he's pretty much the enduro king around here. It
Oh yeah,
seems
oh
Mhm.
yeah,
like
no doubt.
so.
That dude can wheel an Enduro car. But and then my dad ended up buying that car for Trevor, and he's like, I kept begging him, Dad, let me run this thing at M40 this year. So this year at the beginning of the year, we brought it to M40. He set out this race, and he let me. Actually, he owns two Enduro cars and didn't race either of them. He let me and Zach drive them, so we had our fun in them. I ended up finishing third in that thing at M40 this year during the snow and the rain and whatever you call that. So yeah, no, it's pretty fun. I'm hoping to run some more here soon. I'm hoping to be at Plymouth in the beginning of April. Hoping he'll let me drive that thing again. So
Yeah, from everything I see and read, everybody just has a good time doing the enduros.
yeah,
Mhm.
but going back to the brackets, the Bahama brackets, man, it's like a hit or a miss. You know, one year we're way off the pace in the double B. The next year we're running a front in the single B, and then this year we that's a great event, by the way. I love that event. Weekend long racing. Sometimes you don't really get a lot of those, and I know Grundy's trying to do some more, so that's pretty awesome for sure. But just a weekend long hanging out with everyone, relaxing. But no, this year we actually brought the street stock up there. I was shaking down the car for the brackets the week before Grundy, and we ended up blowing a motor. Or actually, before that weekend, I blew up my normal motor that I run at Grundy weekly. And then Eddie Wolf hit me up. He's like, "Hey man, let's go ahead and put this motor in your car." So I said, "All right, are you sure?" "Yeah, yeah, yeah." Well, we ran pretty good. We were running up front. I think we were running second, and qualified second with that thing in the street stock division, and ended up having engine problems in the feature. So we Mm, okay, so yeah, we blew that engine, and I'm like, all right, I'm done racing for the year, guys. Like, I'm done. I've been tearing up too much stuff. Something always happens to me after the point season.
Right.
So, my buddy Zach Chanda, he had just bought a street stock, and he had it sitting there, and he's like, well, why don't you pull the motor out of my car? I said, nope, I am not doing this. I've been through too much stuff lately. I'm not buying you motor, something happens. And I needed a rear end too, so he said, "Okay, let's put them." Well, he started tearing apart his car, and we all ended up putting the motor and the rear end in my car, and we brought the street stock up to Rockford, and that was pretty fun. It was definitely a whole different whole different world when you're in a rear wheel drive with that much power at Rockford, but it was fun for sure. I enjoyed it, and I can't thank him and my dad enough for really helping me get that car together for that event.
I gotta give you credit. I mean, you try to resist the peer pressure as much as possible. I mean, telling everybody no, but they just suck you right
Some
in, man.
Sometimes I just cannot get out of it.
Yeah. You mentioned a minute ago Eddie Wolf, so
Yeah,
perfect
speaking of
set.
peer pressure.
Yeah, speaking of peer pressure,
Yeah.
obviously some news over the off season. They're going to be driving their new Mid-Am car
Mm-hmm.
for 2024, man. So how did that come about?
Honestly, he was at the brackets, and the brackets, the Hama brackets this year, Rockford, and I was talking to him during that week of the brackets, and I'm like, hey, I know you got that chassis sitting there. It's an old Soundtag chassis, and he's like, I'm like, how much do you want for it? He's like, I don't know if I really want to sell it. And he said, we'll talk about it at the brackets. I'm like, all right, whatever. So, I go over, he's like, come talk. So I go over there in their camper and he sits me down and we're sitting there talking. And he's like, him and Kelly are like, how about you drive Mid-Am for us next season? I'm like, what? Like, I only ran street stock for one season. No, no, I think you'll do really good. And I'm like, all right, we'll give it a shot. So, yeah, I can't thank him and the whole Wolf family enough for giving me this opportunity this year. So I'm pretty excited about that one. That should be it's gonna be another new class. So hoping we'll get the hang of it pretty quick. But I just can't thank them enough for this opportunity and see what we could do. We're gonna run a couple. We're gonna run Grundy full time and a couple traveling races. So I think it'll be a good time.
Any goals for the year going into the new series here?
Honestly, at Grundy, I'd like to get Rookie of the Year and get a couple top fives and maybe throw a couple heat wins or fast times and hopefully feature in there. But, honestly, just getting some seat time, getting the hang of it, and keeping the car clean.
Yeah, yeah. And, let's keep on the 2024 bandwagon or train here. Any other plans? We gonna see you in a street stock, pure stock, more enduro stuff. What are we going to see you in this year?
I'm hoping that I've been wanting to try those Crown Vics out, so I'm hoping I can get a ride for one of those in the when the mid-ams don't run. But I'm sure I'll end up in a 4-cylinder. Chrissy still has her car, so I'm sure I'll end up running that thing, here and there, hopefully. And I'll definitely be running a couple enduros, probably mostly all Grundy's enduros, and a couple more events here and there at the tracks around. So yeah, I can't really thank everyone enough that's helped me get these rides all year long and last year, and this year we got a lot coming up. I don't even own a car anymore, so that's pretty cool. So I'm just a driver now, and
You got it figured out, man.
Yeah.
yeah,
It reminds me of, and Chris, you'll get this, Mikey Carpenter back in the day, man.
Have helmet will travel.
Yeah, and he
yeah,
did, man. And he did. I swear, we're not too far away from there being a Grundy race night where you're running every division and don't own a car.
yeah. Yeah, no. Hopefully that would be one for the books right there if I was able to get that done. But no, I really enjoy the 4-cylinders. They're awesome. You don't really spend too much, but you also have as much fun as you do in racing in any other division some nights. So it's pretty cool there. And the enduros for sure. Those 200 laps, and you're like, I don't know if I'll be able to make it through all this, and it just goes by like quick. You can't even notice, and you're having so much fun.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, I've noticed that last year in the Super Cups. Just running them
Yeah,
things around. They're just
Mhm.
they're super fun, and yeah, the races and stuff are over before you know it. And you're like, man, we're just getting going here.
yeah, right,
So,
exactly.
so
And that's the worst nights is when you're like, all right, I'm getting comfortable, and it's like, well, there goes the white flag. All right, we got one more.
you're like, I haven't done anything yet. What are
Yep.
we
Yeah,
doing? Uh,
exactly.
okay, with all the negativity, around, especially on social media and stuff, as far as the
Yeah,
racing community goes, man, we like to try to spread the positivity here, and we got this initiative here, the One Positive Initiative, where we every week and like to get our guests in list as well is give them a one positive thing that you see in and around motorsports, maybe one positive thing that you've experienced or firsthand or kind of seen from a distance. So what would be your one positive around the racing community here?
honestly, I'm gonna have to go with like the friendship. You meet so many friends through racing. You need a partner, you need a hand help working on the car, and usually someone's always there, and that's how I found Eddie and whatnot. We didn't really know each other when I first started racing. I didn't know who he was, he didn't know who I was, and we kind of just kept getting closer, and it all ended up with me racing one of their mid-ams this year, so that's pretty cool. But also obviously me and my dad were really close, but I feel like racing really brought me and him together, between working on the cars every night and just kind of hanging out and thinking, well, what else do we have, but no, it's pretty awesome. I think racing definitely helps bring people together, and some of my best friends are the people that I met in racing. I knew my buddy Zach forever during school, but racing also brought us together. I kind of brought him into racing, and we've kind of been going through there. He's got a couple wins under his belt, and he'll be moving up this year. So I'm pretty excited to see what he can do in that class. And yeah, I can't thank everyone enough, honestly.
Yeah, and you mentioned thinking everybody enough. racing as a big community, we've all got a lot of people that help us, along the way, whether we're racing, whether we're taking pictures, every job we do in motorsports, there's a lot of people and supporters along the way, man. So we like to give everybody that comes on here an opportunity to, shout out their sponsors, their crews, the family, and everybody that helps them get to where they are.
Yeah, I will. First off, I'd like to thank my dad. Obviously, he's helped me through a lot through this whole racing career. Chris Odom, for letting me drive her street stock and whatnot. My buddy Zach Chanda, he's always been a good help. Even when he wasn't racing, he was there changing motors with us too. My mom, she's always been there supporting me since the day I started racing. Honestly, everyone, the family, the friends, the fans that come out and cheer me on and whatnot, it feels pretty good. So, and then all my sponsors, Tim Coe, he's been with me pretty much since day one. Champion Drywall, Sontag Speed Supplies. Who else am I forgetting here? 93 Media. He does all our media work, mine and Zach. So that's pretty cool. And J&A Fleet Maintenance. He came on the car last year. And I just can't thank everyone that's been helping me through this enough. It feels pretty awesome. Sometimes you just need that little help, and usually, sponsors are always there for you. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
It's you've come up the ladder. I think one rung left, man. Late models.
Nope.
What are we doing? What do we
Too
got?
far.
Too far, man.
I can't. Me and my dad always talked about that. When I first started racing, he's like, late models, you could do it if you want, but you're gonna have to find some crew because I can't keep doing this. And the late models are a lot harder. He used to help my uncle Brett back in the day, so he knows what it's like. And I don't want to work him too much. He's getting too old on me.
Well, see, with all the connections he's got, he's going to say no. So it means we're going to see him in a late model later on this show.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. That means
somebody will peer pressure him.
Oh yeah,
I'm sure. Someone will talk me into it.
Yeah, the challenge is out now, man.
Yeah, for sure.
So Cam, man, thank you for coming on tonight. Hopefully we didn't scare you away, man.
No,
come back
I
on
appreciate
again, man.
No, yeah, that was awesome. Anytime you want me on, let me know and I'll be here. This is pretty cool. I appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Yeah, we'll definitely have
All
our
right.
people call your people, man.
You guys have fun.
That is you. Yeah, for sure. At least you got it figured out, man.
Yeah.
But, yeah, cool, man. Thank you for coming on, man. I look forward to seeing you at track this year.
Awesome. We'll see you guys. Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, and that was our interview with Cameron Preisler. I said I was a jack of all trades earlier, man. He's the jack of all series, man. He's got a lot going on.
He said he's not planning on driving a late model, but I feel like at this point it's just kind of inevitable.
Yeah, I feel like that's the natural progression. He'll get peer pressured into it, man. And I give him credit. Like I told him, man, he's trying to resist the peer pressure, but it's not working out for him very well.
Yeah, I can see, waiting to see how he does in mid-am, but man, the way that kid drives, I would be surprised if he's not top 5 in points at the end of the year with, a handful of heat wins. Well, feature win would not be out of the question.
Man, he's he's going to hear this and going to feel that pressure that you just put on, because he's going to want to see you in victory lane, I'm sure.
He is one of my frequent flyers down there, so I always look forward to him being down there.
Yeah, and one of the things that struck out to me in talking to him, very humble, which is great.
Yeah, he was thanking everybody, I think, after every time he talked.
Yeah, and that's awesome to see, and he's well connected and knows a lot of folks, and I think that humbleness, is that the word, humbleness?
Well, it is now.
It is now. I think it goes a long way with a lot of people, and you treat people right, people treat you right, and that's part of the reason you get the opportunities to do. Plus, being fast in a race car does not hurt.
Yeah, especially in that job.
Yeah, for sure. So a lot.
So, I know a lot of drivers. They can write checks, but not necessarily drive the car.
Yeah, and you see that a lot more, in this day and age, where you're getting guys that are writing checks and they don't know the first thing about working on the car, or even in some cases know how to drive the dang thing. But yeah, they cut the check and they're good to go. Whereas you're talking about Cameron, he's talking about getting in the garage and helping. 12 and 13 years old, and putting his own cars together, and that's definitely what you like to see, especially you're obviously you're going to see it a lot more at this level, but like putting in the work and getting the results out, definitely
Yep.
one of those situations where you get out of it what you put into it. And he's definitely doing the work and reaping the benefits and rewards, and see, Wolf family, they see enough in him
He's
to put him
he's
in a
got
mid-am. So
he's got some good equipment under him, and he's definitely earned it.
yeah, so that'll be good to see. Interested to see how he does this year. He's been a mainstay out at the track for the last several years, so really interested to see what he's got. All right, and we got him on a one positive.
We did.
Obviously, and that relationships you make through racing, and obviously connections and networking, that all helps.
Oh, absolutely. I mean,
Obviously,
we're both products of that.
Yeah, and that's weaved into his story that we had too. So definitely good one positive there. Any one positives you got for this episode?
Well, I'm actually going to cheat.
Oh,
I'm gonna do two
I'm
positives.
gonna send you through tech, man.
Yeah, right. So Brian's one positive is that Kelsey is accommodating and lets him do this, even though it's her birthday and she's has him out to dinner tonight. But the rest of the time, I'm sure he's very happy that she's allowing him to participate in all of our shenanigans. So
yeah, that would be shenanigans.
Yeah, my one positive, it's okay. I'm going to cheat again. It's kind of the same one I did last time, but I'm making some progress in sorting those 90 shoe boxes of pictures and scanning negatives. And I getting into that project, I did not have any clue really what kind of undertaking it would be, but we're making progress. So there's that. And also one more positive, because why not do three? Three is a good number.
Do it for Dale.
Doing it for Dale.
Dale, yeah.
So it's actually a negative that's a positive. So I'm going to miss RC racing this weekend unless I show up really late, depending on how the day goes. But Tony Eldridge is getting married, so I got to go to his wedding because contractual obligations and friendly duties. So congratulations to Tony.
Yep, Tony is a frequent flyer here on the Illiana Stock Car Radio. And spoiler alert, we're trying to get him in a few. Well,
is that weeks? A spoiler? I think that's just a prediction. Or no, maybe it is.
That's a prediction, not a spoiler.
If you go into this season thinking Tony's not going to be a guest on, especially after we kind of messed him around a little bit last year and had to come back later. Yeah, Tony's definitely going to be on the short list of season previews we're planning.
Yeah, so we'll talk about that here in a minute. My one positive, and I stuck to the plan. I only got one. So my one positive, and I don't know if you've been able to watch it yet, is the NASCAR Full Speed docuseries on Netflix.
On episode 5.
So we finished episode 5 last night, and I tell you what, man, if that doesn't get you pumped up for race season, just period, and just ready to be back in it altogether, man, I don't know what will.
Is it bad that I'm yelling at the TV saying, no, I don't want to like Ross Chastain. Stop making him relatable.
Well, I kind of thought the same thing about Denny Hamlin too. I'm like, I do not want to like the guy, but I mean,
Denny was. I was actually listening to one of the podcasts I listened to during work. They were talking about how Denny really just opened his doors, his race shops, his entire life to the filming crew, and that's a good way to make yourself a star.
Yeah, and I do not want to like him, but some things he was saying, some things he was doing, obviously racing, with that bum shoulder and stuff, and still kind of kicking butt,
Last Saturday, he still did beat your favorite driver.
He did, but yeah, that's a different thing. He got out, he said that, which it was forced. It was okay the first time. The second time was just corny.
Yeah,
but dude wasn't getting booed. It's like they were actually kind of cheering for him. But so I guess pick your moments a little bit better. But I digress. But yeah, so just that whole series coming out to be able to focus on stock car racing, to have a docu-series like that, just timing and everything just gets you fired up for the season. Man. So that's going to be my positive for.
I like it.
This
and you know what else that series is doing? Something that I've been complaining about pretty much since the NASCAR boom period ended is these drivers don't have personalities. And here we are showing that these drivers do have personalities. They're just, got a microphone up in their face on race day, got to list all the sponsors, and by then the interview's over.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely, some of the corporate dealings and whatnot kind of take over there. But yeah, you see the guys; they do have some personality. I'm not, Christopher Bell. He's got a lot of talent, but he's about as vanilla as a vanilla ice cream cone, like from Dairy Queen over here. But kind of see a little bit of him, kind of come out of the shell and kind of be a little bit snarky, a bit of a smart mouth to the Netflix guys for not really focusing on him, but he's got a little bit of a chip on his shoulder, so kind of a neat little niche in his personality there. So seeing a little bit. So that's going to be my one positive. Just getting geared up for the season here. Daytona's just a week away after some football game this week.
I believe it's a Taylor Swift concert where a football game broke out.
Yes, the Taylor Swift Bowl. Because every other award show and whatnot, we show her more than whatever's going on. So I'm sure Sunday's game will be the same way. But we digress. As soon as that's over, we can focus on going around in circles. So you mentioned it a little bit ago. You are neck deep in negative.
No, I think it's over my head.
Yeah. No, I saw some of the pictures. Yeah, I think you were over your head there.
Yeah. So our plan is to have at least our old Illiana stuff and the Andy Grod collection at the Memorabilia show in a few. God, I don't want to think about how soon it is. I'm not going to look at the calendar because I'm going to panic.
Okay, I won't tell you that's a month away.
Thanks. Our plan is to get Andy's prints and our old Illiana prints sorted and squared away. Scanning negatives takes an just absolutely obscene amount of time, so that's going to be a prolonged project. So it'll just be what we have prints of is what we have prints of. Eventually there'll be more, and then the website is I'm still relearning how to do websites, honestly, because the service that we're on right now, we've outgrown it a little bit, but now having to build it myself, everything has changed since the last time I built a website. So I'm having to learn how to build a website and also rebuild our website at the same time, which is super fun.
It looks like you're having a blast.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you think I'm buried in pictures. Look at the digital stuff.
Yeah, buried in code.
Yeah.
At that rate. So yeah, a lot going on over there. The S4 Motorsports shop here will be here pretty soon. I think I don't know, have Stan's done beating the streets, knocking people's doors down for money.
I don't think he's ever done doing that.
I don't think he's ever really done doing that. I think you're right. But working on that here, but it's about this time of the year where we really get working on race cars.
Yep, it's about time your graphic designers got to work.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, we've set the challenge out for the graphic designer, at least for the little car this year. So
yeah,
no, he's got you working on the big car too. So
I'm. The list of projects I have going on right now is ridiculous,
and the amount of time you have to do it is probably decreasing.
Yeah, gonna be March Madness.
Yep, this is the Motorsports March Madness incoming. So that being said, make sure if you are watching this and you like what you see, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Down there somewhere here on YouTube. Like and subscribe. Hit the little bell and get notified when we post new content. As Chris mentioned, we are trying to do that more frequently. We do have some episodes coming up. Last year we did the Promoters Roundtable or series where we kind of went through all the local tracks. Gave the promoters an opportunity to come on and preview the seasons. We look forward to doing that again this year. And then also the Chicagoland Memorabilia Show here coming up in March, where we'll be out there recording an episode. So hopefully we will have some of your favorite or most popular guests stop by, and you never know really who we're going to pick up.
Yeah, it's kind of luck of the draw, and I heard through the grapevine that we might be farther up front, so we might get to see more people and accost them with a microphone. I mean, politely ask if they'd be willing to say a few things.
Right. Yeah. We're very polite about it. We politely force them to sit down and talk to us. So it's okay. So it'll work. So a lot coming out. So make sure again, like and subscribe here on YouTube. Check our social medias, Facebook and Instagram at Illiana SCR. Got some things going on in the brain that we're going to be doing to this Instagram page here coming up. Trying to make sure that you guys have a preview of what we've got coming here for each episode. So working on some stuff in the background, but for the foreground, man, hope you guys enjoyed episode 82 of the Illiana Stock Car Radio. I want to thank Cameron Preisler for coming on board. Really looking forward to seeing what he does this year, Chris.
Oh, absolutely. When I got the message, hey, I need you to design a mid-am from Eddie Woltz, like, okay, let's put another 88 in. Oh no, that's not an 88, that's a 5. What's going on here? So yeah, really excited for him. He is a great kid, and he can drive the wheels off anything.
And we look forward to doing that here in 2024, watching him drive the wheels off it, and the rest of you racers out there, man. So y'all better be working on your cars, man, because we are, I think here pretty soon, man, we're going to be requesting you guys to send us pictures of your car. So again, keep watching the old social channels at Illiana SCR for posts, information, all that good stuff from us. Your favorite podcast in the Chicagoland area for motorsports and stock car racing. It better be your favorite. I mean, come on. What other options are there? Only show in town's got to be the favorite. Either way,
like I'm my mom's favorite oldest child.
Hey man, whatever you got to tell yourself, whatever helps you sleep at night. So let me just go with it here, right? So I want to thank everybody for tuning in this week, man. Hope you guys enjoyed the show, and we look forward to keep on keeping on doing what we're doing. Seeing you guys next time, and great pumping out these interviews. So hey, if there's anybody you guys want to see, message us. Get a hold of Chris, myself, Brian.
Yeah. If you want to step up and volunteer, A, more power to you, and B, send us a message.
Yeah, exactly. So volunteer somebody. Volunteer them. I don't care. Whatever. Make our lives a little easier.
Bob, before you send us a message, we know you want to be on. We're working on it.
We're working on it. That is in process. We'll have our people get a hold of your people.
Which he's out to dinner tonight.
Yeah, exactly. So that being said, again, thank you everybody for watching. Look forward to seeing you guys on the next one.